had these shoes, my marketing slippers. I went out networking, I wore those slippers, and let me tell you, people remembered me.
They sure did, especially when you clicked them together and said, there's no place like home, I would imagine.
So thanks for these slippers, they did pay off, and there's been great publicity as well. But it just goes to show that the business that I'm in, which is managing your database, keeping in touch with people with email marketing, really does pay off. And I use something called Swift Page, which is a great tool. You can see who's opened, who's clicked on your messages, you know, and every time I use it, I get results, whether it's a sale, or people just saying, thanks, that was a really good tip, or just thanks for keeping in touch. You know, we like to hear from you.
And isn't that how this new modern marketing is going now? I mean, it used to be before that you would be very secretive about sharing information or contacts or anything like that. And it's now the complete opposite, isn't it?
Absolutely. So I think now you've got to kind of give everyone everything.
That's right, because they can get it anyway.
They can get it, and also, you know, if you give it, people think, well, that's that, but actually, can you do it for me?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yes, I totally believe in that. And the other thing is that you've got to have this solid online presence, because people want to search and find out about you. It's no longer a case you call people up and say, this is me, this is what I do. People find you. They go and find out who is that person that's offering that product.
And I think that's a challenge for some people, isn't it? They want to embrace social media, but they don't really understand how they're going to... Well, and they say, well, I think I've got a personality, but nobody's interested in what I've had for tea or dinner or something. So there's a big journey that people have to go on to see how it fits into their big marketing mix that they've got.
And it's a huge area. There's so many different sites, and, you know, you have to find the right one for your business. And for me at the moment, I'm focusing on LinkedIn because I work business to business, so that seems to me to be the best channel to focus on. It's early days yet, but we'll see. I'm building up those contacts, 900 at the moment, and counting, so we'll see.
All right. So let's come back to your sons for a moment and just have any... What ages are they?
Well, I've got a son who's 27. In fact, I was with him yesterday. It was my birthday last month. So I went up to London, met up with him, and he took me to Fortnum and Mason for high tea. It's great when they get to that stage when, you know, it's all payback. So we had a lovely afternoon, and then we went to the South Bank and just sipped a cider and just watched the people. So that's one son who lives in London. Then I've got a second son who's 26 who lives in Ipswich. Now he's got mental health issues and, you know, struggles with life. But on the other hand, you know, he's a lovely person, and I'm very proud of him. And then my youngest is in Holland at the moment.
Oh, wow.
He's my musician. So when he's in the house, it's music all the way. We've got like a tiny little dining room, which has got a Hammond organ in it and a piano. And at the moment, they're just lying silent.
He's the only one with the musical...
Yeah, but he makes up for all of us. Well, I think I like to sing. I mean, I'm Welsh, so...
Of course. You're naturally gifted.
Now, whether I can sing in tune, but it doesn't matter. So, you know, yes, I've got 3 sons, and they're lovely. They're all different, and they've all got their own journeys, and very proud.
So the sons that are working in London and Holland, what are they working at?
Well, the one who's in London is working for BP.
Oh.
He's just been headhunted, and so he's, you know, very, very happy with his life at the moment, and possibly in about a year's time he'll be going on to work abroad. And so life will open up for him. And the younger one, he's got 1 more year to do in universities in Newcastle, Geordieville. He loves it up there. Well, how he's going to cope from Holland going back to Newcastle in September, I don't know. But, you know, he's still studying. So
all these different places. I haven't asked you whether your boys have got a Welsh accent or a Suffolk accent.
Oh, yeah, well, that's true. Well, the younger one may even have a Geordie twang.
I was going to say.
I hope so, because that's my favourite accent, actually. But no, they're not. They haven't got Welsh accents.
They haven't.
Although that said, though, there's 1 or 2 words that they all say, like the word year, how many years? They say that with a Welsh accent. So there's 1 or 2 things that have been drilled into them with the upbringing, I suppose.
Well, I think they learn by osmosis, don't they? And they're just some things that are ingrained from such an early age.
Yeah, indeed.
Or year.
Yeah. Such early years.
Early years. So the next stage of your business is this expansion into the
training.
The other training, yeah.
So I will. I mean, obviously, at the minute, it's quite a long way off yet because I've got to create the product. But you know, in terms of other business women in the community, there's lots of support and advice, you know, that we've got from our solid network, particularly in Wire. So, you know, I always believe that ideas come from other people. And there's nothing new in actual fact. So, you know, just be out there and be open. I've got this amazing video that I often will send out to people that I meet. It's called The Money Tree, and it's on YouTube. And it's this tree that somebody has filled with dollar bills, and they just left it, you know, full of these dollar bills. And people walk by, and they don't notice these dollar bills. They just walk by. Or they glance, and they think, no. And they carry on walking. And it's that kind of idea that I think these opportunities are all around us if we'll only just open up our eyes and see them. So,
I've seen that video. I know exactly what you mean.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the music that goes with it. So it's The Money Tree. Check that out.
And YouTube itself, of course, the second biggest search engine now.
Well, this is it. So if you've got anything that you can share and record, and it doesn't have to be done professionally, get a flip camera, just record what it is you know, put it onto YouTube, put the key search words down, link back to your website, and that is a really great way of generating traffic to your business.
Interesting. Now, he's not here today, but one of my dogs, Presto, we took them down to Nacton Beach yesterday, and it was really muddy and filthy from all the rain we've been having.
Yes.
And I didn't have my camera with me, but I did have, I was able, 7 seconds of a really muddy dog running all the way up Nacton Beach. Are you saying if I put that onto my YouTube channel, people would play?
Yeah, I think they would, and then particularly if that dog walked across some carpets and made a mess of the house, you could then be going in and saying, we've got the solution to this.
Get one of my cleaners in.
Absolutely. The before and after. Perfect. There's always opportunities.
Yes, always. And I think, and this is why I think having that sort of network of like-minded people around you. I mean, you know, we work from home because we choose to, because it fits in with our chosen lifestyles and our other commitments. We don't want to work in an office anymore. We're quite happy to go to clients or wherever, but we want control of our lives. But we also want to take advantage of other opportunities as they present themselves.
Yes,
And I like to think with Wire as well, my mission with opening the Ipswich branch almost 2 years ago now, was that people would have a safe place that, you know, like-minded women, they would learn something at the end of every evening, something that they didn't know before they came, and that they'd have fun.
Absolutely.
You know, you working on your business should be fun, otherwise it's just a job. And you might as well just go and get a job. That's my philosophy anyway.
And the Wire meeting, Ladies at Lunch, great venue.
Oh, I know.
Bar, you know, there's clothes, there's chocolates. I mean, there's died and gone to heaven.
We've had Sheila on that couch as well before now, telling us about her journey and how they got to that stage. And I found it really interesting that people have to explore so many other things before they finally settle into, no, I can bring all that together and actually my own company now does this because you brought all those other skills together. So are there any challenges particularly that are looming in front of you at the moment?
Well, just the new recording of Act 2013. Obviously, I'll have to learn the new features, so that's the first learning curve. And how I normally tackle a project like that is I see it as a big mountain, you know, and I'm just going to start on that journey, climbing up that mountain until I get to the top. I won't stop until I get to the top.
And this is also particularly relevant because last year you climbed 3 mountains, didn't you?
I did. I was asked if I'd like to take part in the 3 Peaks Challenge, and I said, well, what charities are you doing it for? And they said, we haven't decided yet. So I said, well, if you do it for a mental health charity, I'll do it. The next day they said, we're doing it for Mind. So, there was no... down. I kind of got myself in a corner. So I did this 3 Peaks challenge with 6 guys and me. And that was a journey and a half because, the training for a year, the experience was unbelievable. It was really hard, the hardest thing I'll ever do. But, one of these things, with life, you've got to set yourself challenges.
I should imagine after the NLP course, your bucket list got a lot longer anyway. So at least you've managed to tick that.
There's a few crossed off, yeah. Although I nearly ended up walking across the top of the Millennium Dome on Sunday, because instead of Fortnum and Mason's tea, my son was going to take me across the top of that, but it was full. Thank God.
Full. Well, we usually like to finish up by asking our guests to share a little known fact about them, something we wouldn't find on a CV for Elene Marsden, something that you might like to share with your viewers.
Okay. Well, one of the things that I've done I'm very proud of, I have studied a lot of Tony Robbins' teachings, and I went on one of his courses, which ended up me going to Florida. And the first thing we did at the beginning of this 5-day course, this is like within the first hour, we all had to kit up, walk up to the top of a telegraph pole, 50 foot, and jump off the top of it.
Oh my goodness!
So I'm like thinking, I've always got that in the back of my mind. If you can't, you must. And just go for it, because life is so short, and don't give up on any opportunities that come your way.
Wow, so you're leaping off a tall telegraph pole. I'm
not going to do it again.
Elaine, if someone wants to get in touch with you after viewing this show, what would be the best way to do that?
I think the best way would be to connect with me on LinkedIn or Facebook. I've got a Facebook business page. Loads of ways of connecting on my websites. betterACTnow or
betterACTnow, I think, is the real key, because people are going to remember that, because of course Elaine is spelt the Welsh way, not the...
Well, it's E-L-E-N-E.
Yes,
so
could be the French way as well.
French,
yes.
yeah. My mother, her best friend was French, so that's where the name comes from.
Elaine, thank you very much for sharing your journey today.
Oh, thanks, Sue. It's a great pleasure.
and welcome to the Swab Channel, Suffolk Women-Owned Businesses. My name is Sue Hall. My company is Made to Clean, providing domestic cleaners for your home. I also run the Ipswich branch of Wire, Women in Rural Enterprise. And the idea behind the Swab Channel is that we get to showcase some of the amazing businesses that are owned by women here in our wonderful county of Suffolk. I'm delighted this morning to welcome as my guest Elene Marsden. Hello, Elaine.
Hello, Sue.
Elaine's company is called betterACTnow, and we'll come on to that in a second. So, for the more eagle-eyed viewers amongst you, you may have noticed that little lilt in Elaine's voice. It's not from round these parts, is it?
It's certainly not. And actually, when I go back home to Wales and come back to Suffolk, my accent is a whole lot stronger.
You get the whole Gavin and Stacey thing, I imagine, when you're out and about.
Oh, absolutely. Well, at one point, people just didn't know where I was from. But since the Gavin and Stacey programme, I'm now right on the map. So I just say, I'm from Barry. And that's true. You know, born and brought up in Barry. So it's on the map now.
Okay, so when did you arrive in Suffolk then?
Well, we arrived about 25 years ago and, you know, came up with one son and had 2 more subsequent children and have really put down roots and just love it here.
Okay.